take me there, then leave me all alone. You say you will, but I know you won't. I know you won't. I know you won't. Be there, be there, be there, be there. Times like these, everyone could use a hand, but we stand around fighting over memories of the promised land. It's so hard to tell if this is heaven or hell, and I can only measure by degrees, but it's sure getting warm around here in times like these. Times like these, do I really need a billionaire who gets off every morning trying to tell me how he's treated unfair? Then I have to pay as the rest of the day we get divided into them and the we's. Oh, I find I'm losing my mind in times like these. Yeah, they come and they go, they're here then they're not. Every day I'm getting sick of losing something that I haven't got. I'm gonna try to run until the whole thing's done, and I just hope I don't end up on my knees. But Lord, it's getting harder to stand in times like these. Like these, I wish I had a place to hide. Instead of coming all together, we're just adding to the great divide. I hope and I pray nearly every day I can somehow get my troubles some ease. But I gotta say it ain't looking good, not in times like these. Yeah, they come and they go, they're cold and they're hot. I'm just trying to keep the world from changing me to something I'm not. Well, I wanna do my labor, hold my girl and help my neighbor, have a little hope for my dreams. Is that too much to ask in times like these? Yeah, I just wanna do my labor, help the world and love my neighbor while I keep it on my joie de vivre. But it sure feels hard, darling, in times like these. I could use just a little bit of help in times like these. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 56 of Alone Together Tuesdays. I'm your host, Carll, and the first 52 episodes of this show were just shows. We kind of did my songs or did requests, but I figured the year mark was a good time to try something new. So what we're doing for the last 3 shows and for tonight and for the next 2 will be to go through my records one at a time. And so far we've done Flowers and Liquor, my first record, Little Rock, my second record, and last week we did Trouble in Mind, my third record, which leads us to my fourth record, KMAG YOYO, which is this right here is a vinyl copy of it. I think we're giving away a vinyl copy. This is a 10-year anniversary limited edition vinyl. It comes with a 7-inch single, Grateful for Christmas, and the vinyl and 2 CDs. We're giving it away to folks who share the show. We're also giving away 5 CDs, KMAG YOYO CDs. Yeah, I'm not sure. Callan's got it all lined up, but so we'll dive in here in just a minute. Just a bit of housekeeping. If you contribute to the show, I'll send you a postcard. If you contribute over $30, we will send you a signed set list, handwritten lyric sheet. I can't remember what the lyric is. I always forget to check what song I decided on, and the postcard and a sticker, a KMAG YOYO sticker. And if you want a postcard and times are tough and you don't have the money to contribute, that's okay. There's a link where if you just sign up for our mailing list, I will sign, personalize, and send you one. I just appreciate you being here. It's not so much about the money as it is the community and just having a way to connect through here. And but part of the money does go to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Tennessee, and we've been able to do a lot of good with them and a lot of other organizations, but primarily them. They've been the main recipient of our funds over the last year. So, all right, that's it, I think. So please share the show, settle in, and I'm going to get going here as soon as I turn off the air conditioning. Chances are is the lyric sheet. Okay, thank you, Callan. And I hope y'all can hear everything okay. So, this was my second record on Lost Highway Records, and I went back into the studio with Brad Jones, who I'd done the previous record with. But this time we did it a little bit differently. We went down to Austin, Texas, to the Wire Studios, and we recorded it there with my road band, who at the time was Scott Davis on guitar and accordion and banjo and a lot of stuff, lap steel, Kenny Smith on drums, John Michael Sheff on bass guitar, and Ricky Ray Jackson on pedal steel and electric guitar. And that was the band, and they made up the entirety of this record with the exception of the guest singers. That's not true, there's one other person that played, but I'll get to that later. So anyway, let's get it going. Let's play some music. Thank y'all for joining me here. And the first song on the record is called Stomp and Holler. I'm gonna play it. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but let's get going here. Oh, little Johnny Walker caught a bullet last night running from the guitar store. He took a left down the alley, guess he should have gone right. Now he ain't looking nothing no more. Everybody knows it's a hard time living with the hate and the greed. Most folks earn what they get for a living, others just steal what they need. Down on the corner already talking how they gonna cut their teeth. But I'm down here just working for $1. All I wanna do is stomp and holler. Oh, 18 years, that's a long old time to be just sitting face down, stoned in the alley, wondering how to get to that shiny sea. Everybody knows it's a hard time living on a minimum wage. Some people just gonna sneak on through, others gotta rattle that cage. One of these days gonna find my way, or else just disappear. But I'm down here in the filth and squalor, all I wanna do is stomp and holler. listen to the young girls scream. Every time I get a little bit lucky, I got to wake up on a poor man's dream. Heaven only knows how we get there. After all the trouble and the strife, from all I seen, you only get one shot. And what you gonna do in this life? Oh, what the hell? Guess I might as well take a chance and try my way. I'm like James Brown, only white and taller, and all I wanna do is stomp and holler. All right, that's how we kicked off the record. Yeah, the story behind that song, I was in Italy. I was doing a tour in Italy, and the promoter, actually a few months before, I was in, I think, South Carolina, and I saw this like weekly paper, like a city weekly paper. It was something called the something and holler, the hoot and holler, and that word holler struck me, and so I had stomp and holler in my mind, and I was at this in Italy with the promoter of the show we were playing. They owned a restaurant, and they took us for a pre-show dinner, and we sat down and they fed us. It was wonderful, but nobody really spoke English, and so I was kind of sitting there. I think Scott Davis was with me, and they had a placemat that was paper, and I just took my pen out and I was just sketching and doodling on the placemat, and for some reason that line popped into my head. I'm like James Brown, only white and taller. I just thought it was funny because I'm very much not like James Brown. I mean, I am white and taller. So there's those differences. But nothing else. I really have nothing in common with the man at all, as far as I know. He might have been a Capricorn. Maybe we have that. Anyway, so I took that back home, and this record was different than previous records in a couple ways. For one, I recorded a lot of songs, or I wrote a lot of the songs with the help of my band. Like I had an idea, or I had a groove that I wanted to write to, and I would go in and they would help me flesh it out. I'm a fairly limited musician, and so we would come up with something. So in this case, Scott Davis, I said, here's kind of what I want. And so he came up with that opening riff, and we just recorded stuff for fun, and then I would write to that, and then we went back in and recorded for real. So yeah, that was that song. And one other thing about this that really colored and influenced this record that I just got to get out of the way is, right after I released Trouble in Mind, I lost my voice, essentially. I had really bad, severe vocal troubles. And it was a real bummer because my career was at its peak. And my talent was at its lowest level. My voice just, it was awful. I could barely get anything out, and also at the same time I was starting to deal with some real massive anxiety issues, and so performing became a kind of a daunting prospect and not all that much fun because I couldn't sing. I couldn't do the things that I had been able to do. I mean, I've never been a great singer, but I could sing with energy, and I could get on top of the note and holler it. And I lost that ability. There was something, I still don't know what happened to this day, but it lasted about 7 years, and it just got to the point where it was really embarrassing to go out and play music. And so when I went into the studio to write this record, I had that in mind. I had these limitations, and so a lot of the singing on here, it's pretty clipped, and it's a style that it's an acquired taste, I guess. So I was doing a lot of talk singing throughout. So a lot of these songs were written with this kind of limitation in place. So I don't know. it was what it was, but it was challenging, and it definitely influenced the record, the writing of this, because everything, I couldn't really do things with melodies. I just had to rely kind of on the band and on the songs themselves. And speaking of songs, that last one, I was very honored. Todd Snyder, one of my musical, my favorite musical talents and favorite personalities, recorded that song with his band, the Hardworking Americans, and I got to go up and open for them. I think it was their first show in Boulder, Colorado, when they formed that band. So it was really cool. You know, when the people you really look up to record your song, there's just nothing you can say other than that's really great. And I was fortunate with a lot of songs on this record that I had some. A lot of these songs ended up having lives beyond my record. So we'll get into that as we go. So here's another one, song number 2. And everybody, again, thanks for being here. I hope you're doing okay. And yeah, let me know if I'm just making sure the sound is okay. All right, here we go. This is called Hard Out Here. I don't know how the intro, after all these years, it's like. Who needs a guitar player? After all these years of running around, all this flying high and falling down, I gotta get back to the way I was. I'm gonna turn it round, darling, just because everybody's talking about the shape I'm in. They say, boy, you ain't a poet, just a drunk with a pen. Over and over, again and again. Lord, they don't know about the places I've been. It gets hard out here, I know it don't look it. I used to have heart, but the highway took it. The game was right, but the deal was crooked. I'll make it perfectly clear, it gets hard out here. Guess there must be something I'm missing. My mama told me I should have gone into easy listening. I joined up with a band cause I thought it was cool. Lord, I guess I should have just gone back to school. And oh, pretty darling, it's gonna be okay. You know, one of these days I'm gonna take you away. She said, oh, sweet daddy, you're probably right. I think we might get lucky, but it won't be tonight. It gets hard out here, I know it don't look it. I used to have heart, but the highway took it. The game was right, but the deal was crooked. I'll make it perfectly clear, it gets hard out here. I know it don't seem it. I said I'd try, but I never did mean it. And nobody's listening, so we might as well scream it. Oh God, we're all out of beer. It gets hard out here. Yes, it does. Here's to everybody. A little rum and orange juice tonight. That's my jam on a hot summer, late spring evening. All right. So that song, I like that song a lot. It was kind of, my dog is over here sighing weirdly. That song came to me in a dream, or maybe in a dream. It was like I was just about to fall asleep, which is always when these good ideas come into your head, and it's very frustrating because you just want to fall asleep. And but some part of that chorus popped into my head. And so I wrote it down, and then later on, same process, got the guys together, and I said, I just really want this kind of honky-tonk, drunken, sloppy, kind of Jerry Jeff meets like the Stones, kind of Exile era, just this kind of drunken country sound. And then that song about, the lyrics, I liked, I've told the story before, my mom used to tell me I couldn't be a country singer because I don't have a butt. And she said, you gotta have a butt to be a country singer. Everybody knows that. You have to be a folk singer so you can sit down. And so that's my mom told me I should go into easy listening. And I don't know, it's just a fun thing. And everybody would kind of get pumped up and sing along and pour beer on their heads. And so I just enjoyed playing that and writing it. And then we had that kind of Garth Brooksy Friends in Low Places sing along, clinking the glasses thing at the end. And so that was one of the first songs that we wrote on the record. And then that song and another song off this record ended up in this movie, Country Strong. And both of them have the same lyric in it. After all these years of running around, flying high and falling down, I think is in both songs. Which, for all you songwriters out there, you can repeat yourself. I did it 4 times in one lyric. Okay, let's see, where are we next? Chances are. All right, this is a song that I wrote for that movie, that Country Strong movie, but didn't end up in the movie. All these other songs that I didn't write for the movie did end up there. And this one I specifically wrote for that movie because the music supervisor, Randall Poster, had sent out this message. The movie was originally going to be called Love Don't Let Me Down, which inspired a song on my Lovers and Leavers record called Lovers and Leavers, called Love Don't Let Me Down. And then, and that didn't make the movie. And then this song, Chances Are, I remember staying up all night in a hotel room here in Nashville just working on it. I actually worked on it for weeks. It's one of the things I put more time into. And finally finished it and sent it in, and they weren't, they passed. But there's like 30, at least, versions of Chances Are's out here, because every songwriter in Tennessee and some in Texas got the memo that they were looking for something with that title. And so I like that when somebody gives me a title. It's like an assignment, and it makes me more focused and able to hone in. So here's that song. Chances are I took the wrong turn every time I had a turn to take. And I guess I broke my own heart every chance I had a heart to break. And it seems I spent my whole life wishing on that same unlucky star. But as I watch you cross the ballroom, well, I wonder just what my chances are. Well, I know you looked around and you've seen what you needed to see. And at night when you're dreaming, you're probably not dreaming about me. Oh, it's safe to say I've stumbled, but I've managed to make it through this far. And as I take one step and then another, well, I wonder just what my chances are. the world go by, hand in hand, and I wondered why I'm still so alone. Could I lay down my foolish pride and maybe finally find my heart a home? The band has started playing a simple song I used to know. As I take your hand and I walk you out and dance to the rhythm way down low. Every heart has got a story, and mine just has a few more scars. But they could heal if you would hold me and tell me just what my chances are. Oh, if you would only hold me and tell me just what my chances are. All right. Chances are. So that one had another life after this record. I always wrote that. I always had in my mind that would be a song. I don't feel like a lot of my songs necessarily lend themselves to being covered. They're kind of sometimes specific to my personality. But that one I felt like really could be. And then it was. Leanne Womack recorded it. And then she not only she recorded, which was a real big honor for me, but then it got nominated for a Grammy for Country Song of the Year, which was really, really special. So I'm really indebted to Leanne for doing that, and just very, very proud of that one. So thank you, Leanne. And yeah, there we are. Okay, we are 25% of the way through the record, maybe more, maybe 30. My math's not great. I don't even know how many songs are on this record. Okay, let's see. What do we got next? You know what we have next? Last week, a lot of people were complaining because Eli's Magic had not shown up yet. But he sent magic in this week. So let's go ahead. For those of y'all that are new to the show, my son Eli is a magician, and sometimes he sends in videos of him doing magic, which makes us the only show that has magic and music that I'm aware of. So here we go. Let's find Eli's first trick. He sent in a couple. Here we go. Pretty great. Pretty great. Although, as a dad, I gotta say, you could pick up the dirty clothes behind you. It's like sometimes I look at houses online. I'm just interested in real estate and people's houses. Fascinating to me. And I'll look around and they'll have pictures of their house for sale, and they've got like clothes on the bed or a 6-pack of beer on the table or toilet paper just kind of strewn about. I'm like, how hard would it have been just to pick that? Anyway, he's 17, so I can't say. Well, I can. I'm his dad. Pick up your clothes, son. But that was a great trick. I appreciate the video. A portion of the proceeds go to Eli's college fund. I think we go back and forth, but I think it's 0.2% or something like that. So 2 cents of every dollar No, that would be 2 cents of every $100. Let's just say 2%. He gets 2%. 2 cents of every dollar. All right, next up is Grand Parade. This is a song I wrote with John Evans, my good buddy John Evans. And I need to mention, too, I forgot on the last song, my mom actually had a lyric in there. I'm not going to tell you which one. It was just one word. But I didn't give her co-writing credit because, I don't know. I just didn't. I'm selfish that way. But this one I did give co-writing credit to John Evans. I had this lyric in my mind all the time called Grand Parade. And I didn't know what it meant, what it was going to symbolize, but other than just living life. The march of time and humanity. Something about that all tied in the Grand Parade. So it ended up being a song about people coming together. And I always forget the lyrics, so bear with me here. Let's see if I can remember it. Another Sunday on the corner of the neighborhood, not a single cloud in the sky. I'm just peeling off the labels and I'm feeling good, watching all this life go by. Now there's music from the window of the record store, kids are running wild in the heat. It couldn't get much better with my life and the weather, till I saw you walking down the street. Now girl, you got me thinking about you and about me. There's so many things I'd like to say. Like girl, I wanna get my picture with you. Then and on the ways we can be, living in this grand parade. A Sunday on the corner of the neighborhood, I'm leaving worries right where they lie. I'm just joking with the fellas and I'm feeling good, watching all this life go by, go by. Now I thought I knew pretty from the magazines and the girls I used to meet on the town. But you got me burning numbers and I'm picking out rings, better looking than my buddy's hands down. And now girl, you got me thinking about you and about me. There's so many things I'd like to say. Like girl, you just can't hide it, you're getting me excited. Thinking about all of the things we could see, just living in this grand parade. A Sunday on the corner of the neighborhood, I got you sitting right by my side. I'm just peeling off the labels and feeling good, watching all this life go by. Yeah, we're watching all this life go by. Sorry, I flubbed the lyric there. I'm just joking, just laughing with our friends. Our friends. That was evolution. He was just peeling labels and not caring, but now it's he and his partner's friends. He has matured and grown up. I thought that was going to be the feel-good hit of the summer in 2012 or whenever this came out, but not so much. I don't know if you can hear my dog drinking out of the toilet again. All right, everybody. Cheers. Welcome to episode 56 of Alone Together Tuesdays. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, now's a great time to share the show. We're giving away CDs, postcards, set list, one vinyl record. I would give more, but I have a very limited number of this limited edition record. But anyway, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Winnie, you want to come hang out with us? Come here, girl. Come on, girl. Come say hello. Come up here. Come on. Look up. You can do it. There you go. All right. All right. Now we're talking. Now we got a full house. Okay. Let's see. Where you going, darling? Where you going? You crack me up, big old girl. It's hot in here, I know. Get on the couch, hang out back there. Okay, song number 5 on the KMAG YOYO record is the title track. KMAG YOYO, which is an acronym for Kiss My Ass Guys, You're On Your Own. The way this song came about is Scott Davis, the aforementioned guitar player, had this guitar riff that I still can't really play. And he brought it in, and we were just kind of playing around in the studio. And we just made a track out of it, like a dummy track. And I didn't have any lyrics for it, but I thought that's really cool. I want to write to that. That's just very exciting. It had this real energy to it. And so then we went in the studio, still didn't have lyrics, but we cut the track officially, and we had the music, and I went in the booth and just did this exercise where they would hit record, and I would just spit out whatever came to my mind, just sort of unconscious, subconscious, whatever, just would fire out. So I'd get in there, I'd be like, dibba dabba dooba, Flintstones, blah, space, LSD, blah, and just shout stuff out. And I did that 3 or 4 times, and I would take those home with me, and I would just go through and see if anything makes sense there. And what I started coming up with was like this song felt really intense and had a real energy to it. And I wanted the lyrics to sort of tell a story or fit that. And the 2 most intense things that I could think of at that time, or what seemed like made sense, was riding through the desert in a Humvee in Afghanistan or Iraq or in a war zone. It elicited that feeling for me. Not that I've ever done that, but in my mind, that's what it felt like it might be. And then the other one was going through space, traveling into space, but not just traveling through space, but doing it on acid. So those were the 2 like most extreme things I could kind of envision. And so we put them both together in this song. And it was sort of inspired by this YouTube video I saw of British soldiers in the 50s where they were dosing with LSD, and Americans, U.S. soldiers went through the same experiments. They were trying to figure out how to weaponize LSD, and it became, they filmed it for posterity, I guess. And so you can go on YouTube and just put in soldiers on LSD, and there's some really bizarre stuff, and funny in a way, but also like these poor guys didn't know what they were getting into, and they're walking into trees and surrendering to enemies that aren't there, and the whole thing is a trip. So that's how we started it. And then John Evans came over to my house along with Scott Davis, and we finished up the song, and John brought a military dictionary, and in there somewhere we were just trying to come up with this one line, and it was KMAG YOYO. And we said, well, that sounds cool. Let's put that in there. And that's how it came to be. We massaged it a lot and spent some more time with it. But eventually we got 4 verses, and this song goes like this. Oh, when my daddy joined the Air Force, said it was a good source. Did you love and money, but it only led to divorce. Ended up in Abilene, working at a Dairy Queen. Put me in the Army on the day that I was 17. Here I am standing, desert with a gun. Thought of going AWOL, but I'm too afraid to run. So I got myself a new plan, stealing from the Taliban. Make a little money, turning poppies into heroin. Sergeant didn't like it, so they put me in a hole. Said it's easy shooting when they don't know where to go. Threw me on a lily pad, sent me home to no red. I knew I'd be in trouble, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. Wearing all black, met me on the the tarmac. I told him I was sorry, but I ain't ever going back. He said, you ain't in trouble, son. Learn to fight without a gun. A new assignment that you're working for the Pentagon. Gonna take a trip, he wouldn't tell me what it's for. You gotta serve your country, gonna help us win the war. MIT PhD's 9 data testing me. Ain't what I was thinking, but I'm being all that I can be. I ain't no genius, but I knew it wasn't right. Up us in the morning and the LSD at night. Send me up to deep space, help him win the arms race. Oh, how me almighty, but the stuff has got a funny taste. I think I hear the countdown 100 feet above the ground. Told me when I'm leaving, but nothing about it coming down. Sitting on a bad dream, 1,000 tons of gasoline, ain't leaving nothing but some rubble in my slipstream. Mama always said I should be aiming for the moon. She never would've guessed I'd be passing by soon. How the hell I get here? Blasting through the atmosphere. Drop the rocket boosters and I'm shifting into high gear. But we on the system, bottle on my knee. Armstrong ain't got nothing on me. Hey ho, here we go, KMAG YOYO. Someone wanna give me, gotta come up with a sun on road. A bright light, something about it ain't right. I lay down in a spaceship, I woke up in a firefight. I'm tripping from the morphine, I kicked down in a bad scene. God don't let me die, I ain't even 19. I won't ever ask you love or anything again. I swear it on the Bible, the Torah, Quran. A lion and a rhino track about to have a heart attack. IED got to me, someone gonna medevac. I need some fixing after where it is I've been. Never gonna go and try and shoot a gun again. Stepping out the back door, gonna join the Peace Corps. Tell me I'm a hero now, someone else can fight this war. Whoo! That's a mouthful. That's a fun song. I enjoy that track. I love the 2 guitar solos that Scott and Ricky did on there. Ricky's is just crazy. Yeah, it's just a fun song. We put a lot of stuff in there that I like. It tells a story that some people understand or some people don't. I'm not sure I entirely understand it, but I think we pulled it off in some way. That song, I got to play that on the Tonight Show, which was I was very, very nervous. Just to be on TV, I was very nervous. And there's so many words. And funny story about that situation. Here's the sweater that I wore on the album cover. I bought this in a Los Angeles thrift store the day before the photo shoot. I thought, I need that. I'll find a use for that. I didn't know it was going to be the album cover, but we took it with us, and I brought the band. At that time, it was Travis Linville had replaced Ricky, and Scott was still in there, and Cody Foote was on bass, and Kenny Smith was still on drums. And then we asked John Evans if he would come, because he was a co-writer on it, and he's one of my good friends, and I wanted to share that with him. I wanted him to share it with me, getting to be on this night show together. And so he came, and John is 6'6" and like pretty charismatic and good-looking guy and big hair and just Buddy Holly glasses, and just he commands attention in a way that I don't necessarily. And he was wearing that sweater, and we're rehearsing at sound check, and after the producer comes out and says, I need to talk to you for a minute, and takes my manager aside and takes me aside and says, he shouldn't wear that. And I get all indignant, I'm like, I think they're going to tell us like what to wear. It was like, I'm not going to let that happen. And I'm like, why not? Why shouldn't he wear that? And he said, all eyes are going to be on him. Like, he's magnetic and captivating, and you can't help but watch him, and nobody's going to be watching you. And I said, yeah, sweater's got to go. So we we canned the sweater, and so I went back and said, John, I'm sorry, man, but the producers say you can't wear the sweater. It's just, I don't know what the deal is. And so he then proceeds to take a T-shirt, rip off the sleeves, and take a Sharpie and write the name of the movie that he was in, Honky Tonk Blood, and go out and still look incredibly cool. Anyway, it was fun. It was my buddy Kerry Welton was there in the crowd. Armie Hammer was the guest, and Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda, I think, were both there. And at one point I walk into a dressing room and Kathy Lee Gifford is doing a keg stand. It was like this bit that they were doing, and yeah, so they're filming it, but there she was doing a keg stand. So that was my Tonight Show experience, courtesy of that song. Oh, let's see. I'm just seeing if everybody is doing okay in here. All right. I hope all is well with y'all. Let's see. Looks like we're giving away some CDs. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Let's keep going. Okay, this is a song I forgot this was on here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna see. I actually played this song on this guitar, but I don't know if it's tuned up. Close enough. Oh! So I played Chances Are on this song, on this guitar. I recorded on this guitar, and I recorded this next song, The Letter, on this guitar as well. And for those of y'all who watch the show regularly, you know this is my first guitar. It's an Alvarez 12-string. My parents got me, and a friend of mine, the aforementioned Kerry Welton, sat on it and broke it in a hotel room in New Orleans when we were teenagers, and it was out of commission for years until I had it turned into a baritone. And here's a song I wrote on it. I meet some wild people out here, wild people. Those who are pretending and others more sincere. A few that outright scare me and ones that I hold dear. I meet some wild people out here. You won't believe the things I have done. I've been racing down this highway like a bullet from a gun. This life is like to kill me, but it sure has been fun. You won't believe the things I have done. Well, now Birdie says I ought to go home. I swear I tried to reach you, but the cop took my phone. Them Tulsa women's nicer when they leave me alone. And Birdie says I ought to go home. I don't know how I got this way. Been burning up my nights and wasting my days. So many people talking, I forgot what to say. I don't know how I ended this way already. Y'all help me now. I meet some wild people out here, wild people. Those who are pretending and others more sincere. A few that outright scare me, and ones that I hold dear. I meet some wild people out here. Yeah, I meet some wild people out here. And I hope that you sleep well tonight. Know that I'm dreaming of you. Hope you're alright. I'm gonna be there come dawn's early light. I hope that you sleep well tonight. All right. Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. Come on, dogs.
Oh, I got 2 dogs now. You can leave them in here.
Well,
No?
I'm trying to get Willie to eat
All right.
supper.
Oh, Winnie had the opportunity to leave and she chose not to. I'm so touched, Winnie. All right. Allison brought me a drink, which is very nice. She makes them way stronger than I do. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Episode 56 of Alone Together Tuesdays. Thank you for being here tonight and all the other nights. I know a lot of y'all have been with me since the beginning. I really appreciate it. All right. That song is called The Letter. And I feel bad at the end. People think I always think it's over because I kind of end it. But then there's another verse. But people start clapping. And I stole a line from my friend. Did you like how I couldn't just say people started clapping. I had to go, people started clapping. Just so you knew what I was saying. My friend Mondo Signs, I think I got it from him. He had a joke about premature clapulation. So I always use that. People start clapping. I say, it's okay. It happens. It happens. Oh, all right. Let's put this guitar up. Let's get this guitar back. So I wrote that last song on my own, and actually the rest of the record I wrote on my own. Oh, you know what? I totally skipped a song. Totally skipped a song, and it's one of the more popular ones on here. Another Like You. So this song, this record, the sort of the backdrop for it, I mean, part of it's just trying to write songs and just kind of, you know, whatever you're feeling, whatever's in the ether. But part of this record, I can definitely trace back, and I remember thinking at the time, was influenced by the times. I was traveling around a lot. I was touring pretty intensively. And I used to go out after every show and sign autographs and meet people. And then it really only felt right to go out and drink with them afterwards too, just to, you know, show my appreciation. and you know, I started hearing stories. I started meeting a lot of people. We were in 2 wars. We were going through a recession. There was a pretty intense political divide. Well, it seemed intense at the time. It seems like child's play now, but it felt like things were getting more polarized, and we as a country were getting more polarized, and it felt like a lot of people were struggling. And so some of these songs tried to touch on that, and this one was sort of was touching on the political divide part of things. It felt like we were getting to a point where we couldn't get along based on who we supported politically. And I know that's always been there to some extent, to some degree, but it also used to be not necessary to talk about it all the time, who you supported politically. And I understand the stakes can feel very high, and oftentimes are. But I also think that we lose sight of our own commonality, our own shared values and the things that we do have in common when we focus too much on the things that we don't. When we focus on our differences. It dehumanizes us, I believe. And I think there's a lot of media, right and left, that profit off of that division. And I did back then, and I remember thinking, I truly believe that there's not that much that separates us if you didn't have people in our ears saying, this is wrong, this is bad, this is awful, this is a threat to you. Because I know a lot of people that I do not align with politically, and we can certainly get in a heated debate and disagree about certain things, and I could really struggle to connect with them. But I also know that those people have really good hearts and would be some of the first people I would call if I needed help, and that does not define them, just as some of my political beliefs don't define me. I think we evolve and grow. Anyway, this is a long-winded intro to what is really just kind of a humorous song in an attempt to be funny and bring us together. As I was hoping for some kind of Nobel Peace Prize. Didn't come this time, but maybe a future record. So this is a duet, and I didn't know who I was going to sing it with. I wrote the song, and I remember thinking about what was her name? Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter. I was also thinking about James Carville and Mary Matlin, who ended up being in the music video that we did for this. Who are, one's a Republican, one's a Democrat, and they're both very high up, or were operatives in the Republican and Democratic parties, and they go home and get married and they got married, and then they go home every day after doing this work, and they make it work. So that was sort of my touchstone example of it. But I remember thinking at one point there were people I disagreed with politically, but I thought, that's an attractive person. Maybe, we had a drink, like we could overcome these differences. Now I'm not so much. I don't think I could, but that was sort of the premise, was a little attraction and alcohol and just sort of a laugh or two might help you overcome some of the stuff we rant about. So I'm going to play the song for you here, but I'm going to show a video. And I can't do the music video, which I hope you'll check out, because I'm really proud of the music video. I thought it was a lot of fun and really summed up what we were trying to get. And like I said, James Carville and Mary Matlin were in there. But I think YouTube will take down this show if I do that, and I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to show you a video, a live video from the Ryman Auditorium when Carrie Ann Hurst and I sang this. Carrie Ann Hurst. Carrie Ann Hurst is in Shovels and Rope, and I had met her a year or two earlier. She opened a show for me in South Carolina, and I was just blown away by her talent. And when we were kicking around ideas for people to sing this, I eventually decided I thought she would be the best person, and boy, am I glad I did that. And she came and did just a bang-up job, and then we ended up touring together for a year, her and her husband Michael Trent, and just really great people, and had a great time working with them, and I love them dearly. So here is Carrie Ann's first performance at the Ryman Auditorium. It was only like my third or fourth. It's not like this was old hat for me, but I remember just feeling very proud that I was able to make that happen in a way. And the band, the house band, is something else. You got Larry Campbell, who's in Bob Dylan's band, and then Levon Helm's band. You got Don Was. You got Buddy Miller. It's an incredible lineup. This is at the Americana Awards show at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. Here's Carrie Ann Hurst and myself singing Another Like You. You were smoking on a cigarette, talking about the deficit, putting all them wild boys down. Like a drunken Mona Lisa or the leaning Tower of Pisa, you were hanging on the edge of town. Well, I overheard Afghanistan is safer than a minivan, left me wondering what I should do. You're like a four-leaf clover, I just just had to come on over. I've never seen a woman like you.
You were falling like the Alamo, drinking fast and talking slow, looking like it's time to go home.
Well,
Was you heading on that trip, or 'cause you couldn't afford the tip?
hey now.
Just afraid of being alone. You was overly frustrated. You said Dylan's overrated while singing Tangled Up in Blue. I don't know what I was thinking. I can feel my heart is sinking. I ain't never seen another like you.
Ain't that the way we do? It's true, we fall for the first one. Oh, how come it always ends up the worst one?
Well, you probably a Democrat.
Well, what the hell is wrong with that?
Nothing if you're Taliban.
I see. Well, I bet you slept with half the
Boy,
South.
don't you ever shut your
Hey,
mouth.
how much did you pay for that
Maybe
tank?
those 2 cents.
Shouldn't you be
Well,
purging?
you're probably still a virgin.
I can't even believe you're not all of you.
Let's get another round.
It's looking like we're trouble bound. I have never seen another like you. Ain't that the way we do? It's true, you take the breath from me. It seems like you are bound to be the death of me. Well, a couple hours later, we were in the elevator. I'm making out like Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, dizzy from the love we found.
Growing up,
Going down.
Lord, it's been a hell of a ride. I'm having trouble breathing.
I probably should be leaving.
You know I'm up in room 402.
Oh, I gotta hand it to you. There's a chance I'm gonna screw you.
Oh,
I
I've
ain't
never seen another like you. I don't know if it's forever, but I'm glad that we're together. I have never seen another like you. It makes me so happy to see that. It's really cool. All right. Well, hope y'all enjoyed that. But if you get a chance, go check out the official video we did on YouTube. That was also really fun. And then that song's funny. So for a while, Carrie Ann and Michael toured with us, so I could do the duet with her. And then I had a bass player in my band named Bonnie Whitmore, who also sings on this record. I think she sings the harmonies on Chances Are. And she would do the duet with me. And then she wasn't in my band at some point, and so I started calling people up from the audience. And a lot of the audience members knew the part. And so they would come up, and that would be this huge thing. Everybody would love it. Pull somebody out of the crowd, and they would do the whole thing, and the crowd would go nuts. And I thought, well, this is an easy win. But then, at a certain point, the quality of participants started to dip. Sorry, toilet drinking again. Take your time, Winnie. We'll be right here. Just trying to do a show. Are you done? Well, come on. Come on. You need to get up here. Let's go. Come on. Come on the couch. Come up here. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Up here. Let's go. You don't want it, do you? Okay. I'm not going to force you. I started bringing people up, and they didn't know the words, or they just wanted to be on stage, or they were just drunk, too drunk to do it. And so then I started telling people, I would do this whole preamble to the thing and say, okay, I'm going to do this song. I need a volunteer, but it has to be somebody who knows the words, knows how to sing on a mic, isn't too hammered, and knows, et cetera, et cetera. I'd do this whole thing. And then people, me, everybody point at their friend, and they'd get up there, and it started to go through this streak of it'd be somebody at a bachelorette party or whatever. They didn't know. They just wanted to be on stage. And so it would just totally derail my show. So I stopped doing it because it just became, it would take like 25 minutes of just disaster. But anyway, it was fun when I had people who knew what they were doing there. So let's see. So yeah, that was the great Carrie Ann Hurst and Shovels and Rope. So check them out as well. We had a lot of fun touring together. Okay, what's next? So we skipped ahead. We did the letter already. Now we got Bye Bye Baby. This is another one that I wrote on my own. We recorded it. And then I sort of finished the lyrics after the fact. A lot of these songs I didn't finish until after we recorded them. It's really the only time I ever did that. Cut the track and then went back and kept writing the lyrics. But I did a lot on this record for whatever reason. So here we go. You laughed and called me lucky for having you around. Then you stepped up to the bar and started swaying. And the boys all sang Ophelia as they drank another round. Oh, bye, 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 baby. The rain fell on the window as we watched the sailors dance. And you kissed my hand and said you were beside me. And I held on to the moment when I thought there was a chance. Oh, bye, 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 baby. Way out in the distance where the waters fade to blue, you used to say tomorrow was a foolish thing to do. I thought I'd seen it all before, but nothing quite like you. Oh, bye, 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 baby. I'd read to you the letters that had blown in from the west, and we'd whisper of the dreams we'd been saving. And you said you'd have it all, nothing more, nothing less. Oh, bye, 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 baby. Now there's an emptiness standing at the door, trying to take me back to the way I was before. I used to feel alone, yeah, but it's not that way no more. Oh, bye, 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 baby. Now the drunks have turned to strangers, and the stars are out of tune, as I think about the one who might have saved me. And I know you're out there somewhere between the highway and the moon. Oh, bye, 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 baby. Oh, bye, 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 baby. All right. Oh, I like that song. I like that last verse. Yeah. Cool, Hayes. Cool story. You like your own song. Ooh, got some good stuff to say tonight. All right. Well, let me just thank you all for being here and putting up with me. Episode 56 of Alone Together Tuesdays. We got a couple more of these, and then I may take a minute to myself. I got some shows coming up. Heading down to Houston this weekend, and then Dallas. I got 2 shows in Houston on Friday night and 2 shows in Dallas on Saturday night. The first Houston show, there's still the early one. There's still a few tickets. The second one's sold out, and the 2 Dallas shows are sold out. But if you're in Houston and you want to do something on Friday night, there's still a few tickets left for the early show. So come check it out. We'd love to see you. And then I've got a show with Robert O'Keefe at the end of the month. We're doing a gig down in Irving, I believe, outside of Dallas. Robert O'Keefe and a bunch of other acts. Should be a lot of fun. All right, let me get everything situated here, and we will move on with the record. Let's see. Okay, what's next? The Lovin' Cup. It's funny, I still remember this next song. I remember I was driving through Canada with my band, and when this chorus sort of popped into my head, which is not much of a chorus, but it was just down, 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 down. And I didn't have anything else with it, but it's just strange what you remember, just these little, I've written a bunch of songs, and a lot of them I have no recollection of them at all. I actually found a piece of paper the other day with all these songs that I'd written, and I didn't even know what they were, all these titles I don't even remember existing, let alone writing them. But there's some songs where it's just, you remember exactly how it came about. And with this record, I remember a lot of it. I remember a lot of these songs and how they came to be. So let's have another drink just to hydrate, make sure we're... Okay, this is a fun one. It's a barn burner. I'm gonna do it acoustically, but really one of the best parts of this song to me is the dueling guitars. Or instruments, whatever they are. Some nights it's a fiddle, some nights pedal steel, some nights it's electric, mandolin, whatever. But tonight it's just gonna be me. But I like the wordplay on this one too. There's a lot of fun stuff. I got all night to remember you by. I got a half-pack bag and a wandering eye. Said I love you, baby, till the day I die. Don't worry. It's just sometimes people get a little fed up, tired of not drinking from the loving cup. I gotta walk them on like a little bitty pup and hurry. Yeah, it seems like every time I give my heart a couple good years and bullshit starts, I did my best, honey, played my part, it's over. Now I'm sitting cross-legged in the heartache tree, knowing damn well you ain't thinking about me, just a sad reminder of it used to be. I'm gone. We go down, 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 down. Our love just left this town. Well, if I had a dream, I guess I sold it. If I had a secret, Lord, I told it. This here hand, I never thought I'd fold it, darling. Yeah, I paid my dues and I served my time. We had a good tune, but we never could rhyme. Put up a buck just to get back a dime, it's gone. I remember a time when the mood was right. You'd say go, we'd go all night. Now it's bitch and moan and fuss and fight. I'm tired, babe. If you're ever in trouble, honey, I'll be there. But I'd rather be one than a mournful pair. The blind can see that you don't care. I'm gone. And we go down, 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 down. Our love just left this town. What have I done? I can't believe these things I said. I let a couple bad years go to my head. Without your love, I'll be old and dead. I'm sorry. Now it's getting hard to handle that lonesome sound. Goodbye, trouble, I'm homeward bound. You're the only good thing this old boy's found. I'm home. And we go down, 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 down. back in time. We go down, 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 down. The one good thing I found. There we go. I'm gonna need a minute. After all that display of hot picking, I gotta rest my hand. So just give me a second, talk amongst yourselves about how impressive all that was. While I drink my Gatorade, my music juice keeps me going. All right. Okay, that was the Lovin' Cup. Next up, let's do some more magic. We got 3 more songs to go and 1 more magic trick. So let's get. I haven't seen this other magic trick, so let's do that. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Thank you for tuning in, and we got some good tunes left. And but first, let's see what Eli's up to here. This is magic trick number 2. Eli Carll coming at you live from Austin, Texas. Oh! That was awesome. Well done, Eli. I really enjoyed that one. I just like the showmanship. I mean, the magic blows my mind, but the showmanship is it just always gets me. I love it. Love it. Okay, this next song is one I wrote on my own, and it was like I mentioned earlier with Another Like You. I'd written the thing, but I didn't know who I was going to sing it with. But I knew I wanted somebody to sing it with me. That one was clearly an obvious duet, but this one wasn't as obvious. But in my mind, I had people that I wanted to do it, and I was fortunate in that my first 2 picks came through, and that was Corb Lund and Todd Snyder. And Corb did his verse from Canada. I wasn't able to get him in the States, but he flew in from Canada. That's a musical term we use when you fly in the vocal. I may be misusing it. I think you can do it, be in the same room and you can fly in a vocal. I don't really know. But that's what they say. They said Corb flew in his vocal. I said, great, when's he land? And like, no, he sent it and it showed up. Anyway, and then Todd Snyder phoned in his vocal, I think is what they said. And I'm kidding. They said he actually came to the studio, and I got to watch Todd do his part of the song. And I was just, again, very honored that those guys are my friends and that they were willing to sing on my record. So that was really cool. And without further ado, we'll play this here. A little kind of bluegrassy number, or at least it was on the record. My version, my attempt at bluegrass. I don't really know how to play bluegrass, but I just kind of wanted some kind of folky jig. So here we go. There we go. Well, I followed my feet all across this land with a tune in my heart, a bottle in my hand from the cold, cold east to the woods out west. Never had a home, just lucky, I guess. I seen the sun rise over the water, howled at the moon by the embers glow. Stole me a kiss from a poor man's daughter. I threw on my pack and away I go. Well, it looks like rain and it tastes like hell. Ain't nobody ever wished me well. Tried to make me stand in the welfare line. Ain't seen free in a long old time. Every town is gone by morning. It's to another till the sun goes down. Find me a boxcar, one or two brothers. I pull out the bottle and I pass it around. Hey! Well, there's trouble at the border and a far-off war, oil in the water and a shut-down store. The big banks are closing and the world ain't round. The jail's filled up and the deal's gone down. But I got all I need on the highway, little bit of luck and a rainbow stew. Sing a little song for the ones who ramble. It's hard to carry on like the way we do. Hey! Who walk that line, spend life working for a nickel over a dime. They come home ragged at the end of their day, feet on the table, not a word to say. Sometimes I just have to wonder how it's gonna end for a man like me. I slept with the rain and danced with the thunder, but I get a little bit older. I get a little bit older. I get a little tune on the fiddle, and then I'll be on my way. I follow my feet all across this land, a tune in my heart and a bottle in my hand. The mine's in the east to the woods out west. They ain't no home, just lucky I guess. Never had a home, just lucky I guess. Anyway, that was a fun one. Mostly just because I got to sing with my friends on it. That was really cool for me. But that was Bottle in My Hand. Kind of my ode to Woody Guthrie in a way, or trying to summon that type of song. Bumming around the country. Okay, we got two more to go. And like a good meditation sleep app, we're going to wind down. Like there's nothing over 50 beats a minute. These last two songs, they're pretty chill. So we're going to ease to the finish line here with this one. This is a song that, let me see if I can remember. A gentleman played on it. That I can't remember his name. James Nixon sang the background vocals on this song, and Brad Jones played the keys on it. And while I've got this vinyl, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the vinyl. So here's the vinyl, here's the back, and it's called KMAG YOYO and Other American Stories. So it's I always call it KMAG YOYO, but it's actually that. And so these are the chapters, all the stories. The idea that KMAG YOYO was one story about one person, and then all these other ones, each one is kind of its own vignette. That was the idea anyway. I'm not sure whether we pulled it off or not, but let's see. So all songs written by Carll except Grand Parade, which was with John Evans, and KMAG YOYO, which was with Scott Davis and John Evans. And John helped out. We did this at Stuart Sullivan's. He recorded it at his studio, The Wire. Brad Jones produced it. We did it in Austin, Texas. And then we did some additional recording at Brad's studio, Alex the Great, in Nashville. And let's see what we got here. This always cracks me up on the interior here. I don't know if you can see this. I wish I had sent a photo of this in earlier. But here's a map of America. And all the people who played on the record took a photo in the sweater. And wherever they were in the country, we had them on the map. So we've got Kenny Smith, who was in Dallas. John Michael Sheff, Scott Davis were in Austin. John Evans was in Houston. I think that's Ricky Ray Jackson. I don't know. He was living in Austin, so I'm not sure where he's supposed to be on this map. We just may have run out of room. We had Bonnie Whitmore, who was living in Nashville, and Todd Snyder, who was living in Nashville, and Carrie Ann Hurst, who was living in South Carolina. And then way up here, it's Corb Lund. He's up in Canada. I'm so tickled by this thing. I need to make a copy of this just to have as a poster. I think it's really funny. So anyway, congratulations to whoever won the vinyl. And I just talked to Universal recently, and we're gonna have some more vinyl in stock soon of Trouble in Mind and KMAG YOYO. They have not been available for a long time in stores, but they will be again soon, or at least at my shows and on my store. So if you're into that, there's help on the way. Okay, let's do this here. After all these years of running round, flying high and a falling down, well, the time has come at last to rest my heart and to ease my past. I'm gonna leave these blues behind for some other fool to find. He won't care and I don't mind. Hide me, babe, hide me, babe. And darling, don't you cry tonight. The moon is full and the world is red. I've loved more than my share. I took the pain and I called it fair. I'm gonna lay down all my fears, my highway shoes and my rambling tears. My shoes and my rambling tears. Oh Lord. Where's is it Susan Ramirez that always has all the lyrics? I need you. Hold on. Hide me. I'm gonna let it. They can shout it down the line. I can't lose what was not mine. There we go. I raise my glass and I'll make a toast. We're better than some, little harder than most. We left a mark on every town. We chased a dream and we stood our ground. But I can't do those things no more. Not the way I done before. The same winds that brought me through can take me back the long way too. After all these years of running around, flying high and a falling down, well, the time has come at last to rest my heart and to ease my past. I'm gonna leave these blues behind for some other fool to find. He won't care and I don't mind. Hide me, babe, had me, babe. All right, it was kind of a somber one. I like that idea of just end of the line, reflective song, looking back on life, hopefully well lived. That's the goal, is to not have too many regrets and be able to look back and not have regrets. Feel like you lived a good life. You loved hard and did some good and maximized your potential in this time on earth. And then it was a better place for you being here. I'm not quite sure that's all what was going on in that song. Started projecting like what I think of now. At the time, it was maybe just more abstract or more just I'm not sure if it was as fleshed out, but yeah, that song also ended up in that Country Strong movie, and my friend Garrett Hedlund, he's my friend now. He wasn't my friend at the time because I didn't know him, but then he sang those songs and we met and became pals. So I'm grateful to him for doing such a good job with it all. Okay, everybody. Well, we're down to the last song. I want to thank y'all for being here. This may be the shortest Alone Together show I've ever done, but that's okay. Thank you for everybody for tuning in on this Tuesday night. And next week we'll be back with my Lovers and Leavers record, which that'll be a good one. Be fun to do. So thank you, everybody, and let's finish off with this here. This is a song that I think was maybe the first song that I wrote for this record. And I didn't write it for the record. I just wrote it because my friend Andy Langer down in Austin said that they had this series where you could go on the rooftop of the Fox News building or where the local Fox affiliate was, and during Christmas season and sing Christmas songs, and all these Austin musicians would go up there and do that. And so as the news was ending, they would go to you. But as I mentioned earlier, my voice was really not in great shape, and the idea of singing some Christmas carol, I just thought this is not going to make me any fans, and I thought, let me write a song for it, and so I did. I wrote this the day before I went up there. I remember I took the paper with me. We had to tape it onto the ground because the wind was blowing, and they filmed it, and I'm not sure I ever saw the video of it, but I wrote this song. It's about my family. I'm from Texas, and half my family's from Waco, and the other half's, a lot of them were in Houston area. And so I would split my Christmases. We'd rotate between Waco and the Woodlands. And so this is about that, about those people. Some of them are still here, some of them aren't. But there's a lot of love. A lot of love back then, and just wanted to capture it here. Well, we'd all head to Waco for the birth of our Lord. My folks and my brother in an 82 Ford. We'd pull in the driveway filled up with cars, old aunts and old uncles. Lord, I see stars. Then we'd run to the kitchen, kids and their games. Play fetch with old Buster, call each other names. Aunt Betty'd be singing while supper was cooking. We'd unwrap the gifts when no one was looking. Let's all gather around. Grandpa say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Mary Kay, she burned the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. This year we're in Houston, let's all get together. Man, I almost saw snow, can you believe this weather? Who's gonna be here? Uncle Frank can't make it. Since Pawpaw died, I don't know if Nana can take it. Well, this present's a sweater, and the pie don't taste right, and Dad and the TV are starting to fight. I wish I had a drink, maybe a dozen. Lord, what I'd give for one good-looking cousin. Let's all gather round. Dad, you say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Mary Kay, she burned the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. Hey Mom, how you doing? Yeah, I miss him too. Nah, the Christmas lights don't make your hair look blue. The cousins ain't coming, John's overseas. My wife had somewhere she needed to be. But the ladies from the church said they might stop by, and I brought you this picture. Oh Mama, don't cry. Let's play cards and watch the news channel. I love you too, Mom, and thanks for the flannel. Let's all gather around. I guess I'll say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Mary Kay forgot the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. Yeah, I'm grateful for Christmas this year. I'm grateful for y'all for tuning in, supporting the show. I hope you're well wherever you are. I hope we can do this again next week. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And I look forward to diving into Lovers and Leavers 7 days from now. But until then, on behalf of myself, Eli, Callan, who keeps the whole show running, and everybody out there in internet land, thank you. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next week. Let me just figure out how to get out of here. Intro, outro. Okay, I think I got it. Let's do that over. So y'all take care, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
I was mistaken, my dear. There was never any reason to be cruel to you. Your heart is breaking, I fear, and I wish there was some little thing that I could do. I know perhaps it seems to you as if I didn't care, and I hate it's me who showed you that the world ain't always fair. Can't take it back and make it better, and no words will explain the choices that I made along the way. Stood by through all kinds of weather. And with my new clarity, I can see you deserved so much better. I was selfish and certain that the world would understand, and I never realized what it means to be a man. So I left you with excuses and a debt I can't repay for the choices that I made along the way.